Corn flakes were invented to stop people from having sex. That's not an exaggeration. In 1894, a sanitarium superintendent named John Harvey Kellogg believed that bland food could suppress what he called carnal urges, and he designed a grain-based breakfast to prove it. Today, that same cereal sits on grocery shelves in over 180 countries, consumed by more than 6 million households in the United Kingdom alone. The story of how a sexual purity experiment became a global industry reveals the gap between a product's original purpose and the system that made it profitable. The setting was the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan, a health retreat run by Kellogg and his brother Will. John Kellogg was a physician with firm ideas about diet and behavior. He promoted vegetarianism, frequent baths, and exercise, but his deeper mission was moral reform. He believed that spicy foods, meat, and rich meals stimulated what he considered dangerous passions. His solution was a breakfast cereal made from grains, boiled, rolled, and baked until bland. The patients ate it as part of a broader treatment program. The cereal was functional, not pleasurable. It was medicine disguised as food. The original version was made with wheat. It was served to sanitarium patients who were paying for a full lifestyle program that included lectures, hydrotherapy, and strict routines. The cereal was just one element in a system designed to reshape behavior. But something unexpected happened. Patients liked it. Not because it tasted good, but because it was easy to digest and didn't require cooking. When they left the sanitarium, some of them wrote back asking where they could buy more. The demand came from convenience, not conversion to Kellogg's philosophy. Will Kellogg saw an opportunity that his brother could not. He was the business-minded brother, handling the sanitarium's day-to-day operations while John focused on medical theory. Will started experimenting with different grains, eventually switching from wheat to corn. The flakes were thinner, crispier, and held up better in milk. In 1896, the brothers filed for a patent on the process. But the partnership was already fracturing. John wanted to keep the cereal tied to the sanitarium's health mission. Will wanted to sell it to the public as a convenient breakfast, with no lectures attached. The brothers were building two incompatible businesses around the same product. The legal battle over the patent revealed the tension. John believed the cereal was a medical tool. Will saw it as a product. The patent was eventually granted after what the historical record describes as a legal battle between the two brothers. Will left the sanitarium and founded what would become the Kellogg Company in 1906. He took the manufacturing process, the brand recognition, and the distribution network. John kept the sanitarium and his theories. The cereal was now two separate things: a health reform tool that stayed in Battle Creek and a commercial product that entered the national food supply. Only one of those models could scale. Will's company faced immediate competition from an unexpected source. A former sanitarium patient named C.W. Post had been treated at Battle Creek and watched the cereal operation closely. After he left, he started his own company and launched rival products. The market for breakfast cereal exploded. By 1910, there were more than 40 cereal companies in Battle Creek alone, most of them founded by people who had either worked at the sanitarium or been treated there. The health origins gave the products credibility, but the companies were competing on convenience, shelf life, and price, not purity. The sanitarium had accidentally created an industry that had no interest in its founding principles. The industrial transformation happened in stages. Early production was small batch. Workers cooked corn grits, pressed them into thin sheets, dried the sheets, and cut them into flakes. Scaling that process required new machinery. Kellogg invested in continuous cookers, steel rollers, and gas-fired ovens. By the 1920s, the company could produce thousands of pounds of flakes per day. The sanitarium origins faded from the marketing. The focus shifted to busy households, mothers looking for quick breakfasts, and children who would eat without complaint. The product stayed the same. The story around it changed completely. What made cornflakes scalable was what John Kellogg would have considered a compromise. The cereal had to survive shipping, sit on shelves for weeks, and taste acceptable to people who had no interest in moral reform. That meant standardizing moisture content, fortifying with vitamins to meet nutritional regulations, and eventually adding sugar to compete with rival brands. Each technical improvement moved the product further from its origin. The bland purity that John designed as a feature became a problem that manufacturers had to solve. The market didn't want therapy, it wanted breakfast. The cost of that shift was the original mission. John Kellogg spent the rest of his life arguing that the commercial cereal industry had betrayed his vision. He continued to run the sanitarium and publish tracts on health reform, but his influence declined as the cereal became a pantry staple. The product designed to suppress appetite became a vehicle for sugar, advertising to children, and eventually frosted and flavored variants that John would have considered a moral failure. When Frosted Flakes launched in 1951, the name included the word sugar. Sugar Frosted Flakes. The name alone was a repudiation of everything the original cereal was supposed to prevent. The word sugar was dropped from the name in 1983, but the formula remained. The mechanism behind the transformation was simple. Demand didn't align with ideology. People didn't buy cornflakes because they wanted to eat less or live more purely. They bought them because cereal was faster than cooking eggs, cheaper than bacon, and didn't spoil. The product succeeded not because it fulfilled its inventor's goals, but because it solved a problem those goals never addressed. Convenience beat philosophy. Shelf life beat moral reform. Will understood that. John never accepted it. The industrial food system doesn't preserve intention, it preserves what moves. By the time Kellogg's became a multinational corporation, the health movement origins were a branding asset, not an operational constraint. The company's mission statement in 2018 was nourishing families so they can flourish and thrive. That language is worlds away from suppressing carnal urges. The Kellogg Company manufactured products in over 180 countries. Its largest factory was located at Trafford Park in Greater Manchester, United Kingdom, which also served as the company's UK headquarters. Other corporate offices operated in Chicago, Dublin, Shanghai, and Querétaro City. The company even held a royal warrant from Queen Elizabeth II until her death in 2022. The sanitarium connection had become invisible. Today, the Kellogg Company no longer exists under that name. In October 2023, it changed its name to Kellanova and spun off its North American cereal business into a new entity called WK Kellogg Co. In 2025, Kellanova was acquired by Mars and WK Kellogg Co. by Ferrero. The original factory in Battle Creek still operates, but ownership has passed through multiple corporate structures. The sanitarium closed decades ago. The health movement that created cornflakes is a historical footnote. The cereal remains, now produced under brands that have no connection to the Kellogg brothers or their conflict. The broader consequence is that cornflakes normalized the idea of breakfast as an industrial product. Before Kellogg and Post, breakfast in American homes meant cooking. After them, it meant opening a box. The shift wasn't driven by nutrition science or health outcomes. It was driven by the economics of factory production, national distribution, and household labor. Cereal companies didn't sell health, they sold time. The fact that the product started as a health reform tool gave it credibility, but that credibility was only useful because the product solved a logistical problem. Ideology opened the door, infrastructure kept it open. The lesson isn't that health movements are destined to become commercial products. It's that a product's survival depends on the problem it actually solves, not the problem it was designed to solve. Cornflakes worked as a fast, stable, cheap breakfast. That's why it spread. The ideology that created it was never scalable, never reproducible in a factory, and never something most people wanted. Will Kellogg didn't betray his brother's vision. He just stopped pretending the market cared about it. The cereal became what people needed it to be, not what its inventor hoped it would prevent. The system chose convenience. The mission died. The flakes remain. Visual reconstructions are illustrative. Facts and interpretations are based on the sources listed in the description.